Zach Brown, Mr. Worldwide. This is how you change the world. Let's ride.
Get lost with me tonight. Cruise slow motion, chase the sun as we burn one down. Get lost with me tonight. We go high as a mother. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nah, 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 no, no, no. Ain't nothing gonna stop us now. Nah, 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 no, no, no. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. I'm here to remind y'all, just in case you forgot, Mr. Worldwide, the world's my block. I'm like time, I never stop. I'm from the bottom, y'all keep the top. See nobody, feel no one, still the hottest thing.
Good morning, guys. We'll give everybody a few minutes and we will get things started here. Appreciate you being here on time.
Get lost with me tonight. Cruise slow motion, chase the sun as we burn one down. Get lost with me.
Let's get some cameras turned on. Let's be ready to participate. Think about what you're grateful for.
In the paint, I'm a fighter, survivor, rider, NASCAR teams, Orlando, track house bringing that fire, Zach Brown and Pit, fire. You can knock me down, but you won't knock me out. I love it when they count me out. Let's
oh, Kristen's feeling it. Okay, I see you.
Get lost with me tonight.
Good morning, guys. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes to sign on and we will get things started. Super pumped for today.
Nothing's gonna stop us.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome. Good morning. Buzzerini, what are you, man? I didn't even know you knew where this call was, brother. I'm glad that you're here. Look at you. Look at this. Beautiful, guys. I am going to keep letting people in. As always, guys, I am super pumped up about today's call. But before we get into that, as always, we have our wins for the week. And we need 3 of them before we move on to our special guest. So who has some good shit going on right now? Who got something? It could be in their head. Jeff Russell, first one to raise his hand. What do you got going on over there, Jeff Russell?
So my win is I was in Denver this week for a Club Wealth listing agent boot camp.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people on this call have access, by the way, to Club Wealth. Yours truly pays for it. You're welcome. But anyway, I went to the event. It was great. I have 3 listing appointments between now and Monday.
Get after it, man. Congratulations. And you're stepping it up. I'm going to bring you back on because you are already like crushing the listing side of things, but you've added some changes, some ISAs to kind of leverage and build that even more. So we're going to have you back on to just kind of talk about what your structure and everything looks like here in the near future. But congratulations, brother. That's great.
Yep. And I'll be prospecting. So I'm going to
Beautiful. Kristen, dancing a storm over there this morning. Talk to us. What you got going on that's good?
Well, it's always tough to follow Jeff because he's always got such amazing wins. But mine's about baby steps and taking moves that that are new to me. And I just got back from my very first real estate conference in Nashville. That was hosted by Girls with Grit, which is founded by three EXP ladies. And it was
Yeah.
amazing and fun. And the saying, if you're feeling like business is stuck, go on vacation and business will start happening. And
Yes.
so, yeah, while I was away, well, right before I left, I closed an escrow with some buyers. And then while I was away, I helped get a few showings for my listing. And today I got an offer. Well, last night I got an offer, and today we'll be accepting that offer. And
Beautiful.
yeah, yesterday
Cool.
made some calls, got a new buyer lead, a new listing lead, and a new referral lead.
Hold on. You made calls and shit happen. That's what you're telling me. That's all I
I
have to
know.
tell people. That's the secret.
That's
Get the hell
crazy.
out of here.
I know.
That
If
is
I'd done that a
beautiful.
long time ago, I don't know what would be happening now. No, I'm just
Now
kidding.
here's the key though, is the consistency, right? Because
Right.
as you get busier, you have to continue that time. Otherwise, you go through these ebbs and flows. That is the trick, right? And that's where we have to start building these systems, groups, right? Like you have to build everything that basically works whether you go to work or not, right? So that
Yeah.
is the key, is the consistency, which we talk about all the time on this call. But that's great.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Who has the third win for this week?
I have a small one if no one else has one.
Talk to us, Kelly Jones.
So I was working with a buyer since 2021. Yes, 2021, that's correct. And finally got him in contract. We closed this week, and he left me a really nice review, gave me a hug, said thank you for not giving up on me, which I thought was a huge win. But then
Yeah.
also the agent I worked with was really awesome as well. So I complimented him, and he left me a really nice review as well. So I got 2 reviews. So that felt good. It felt good in my tongue.
Yeah. That's not little, that's huge, right? Like that tells us that we're on the right track, right? Like when we get those confirmations of service and stuff like that. So beautiful. And the consistency of following up with somebody for 3 damn years, right, is crazy.
Yeah, it was a small price point too. So there's a lot of agents out there that would have said bye, but I didn't give
Yeah.
up on him. So that was important.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations. Ashley Kimball, I see you on the edge of your seat over there. Give us the last one before we get started.
No, I just want to say Kelly looks amazing. Like you look beautiful, girl.
Oh, thanks. You do too.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, guys. I am super pumped for our guest today, and I hope you guys are too. So for the longest time, I didn't even know his name. I talked to him all the time. I thought his name was Fast Agent because this man has done such an amazing job of branding himself. And when I tell you this, like if you guys are not connected with Kenny Truong, the Fast Agent on social media, you should be. Because some of the stuff that happens, this guy does more marketing, more advertising, has more creativity than probably anybody else that I have seen in this real estate business. And like that's one part. There's a lot of creative agents that don't do much with it. This guy just ranked in one of the top 250 teams in all of EXP and is just crushing it. And if you don't know how big of a feat that is, literally, if you just took the top 250 teams within EXP and took out the other 80,000 realtors that are within EXP, the top 250 teams alone would rank as the number 6 real estate brokerage in the country. So these guys are pushing some business and stuff. So everybody, let's give a Kenny Truong, unmute your mic. Let's start getting into it, brother. How are you doing today?
Good, man. Thank you for everyone for having me today. Looking forward to being able to share what been able to do on this journey with Larry.
Yeah, bro. Like, super excited, man, because you are literally, and if you guys ever go to, like, I travel a lot. If you're up in Northern California, you'll be like, yo, that was the dude that was on the mastermind call, because this guy is everywhere. But Kenny, how long have you been in real estate now, brother?
Um, Licensed in 19. Wait, what am I saying? About 15 years now.
15 years
Yeah,
now.
2009 got licensed. I worked as an assistant for a year before I got licensed, and then my first year as licensed realtor, I didn't really do anything with it, and then I finally got started and took off from there.
So the market is crashing. We're at the depression of our real estate cycle and stuff here, and you decide you want to get into real estate. What the hell were you thinking? Why?
It so it wasn't like a cool story of like I wanted to get into real estate, change my life. I worked a lot of different gigs from Craigslist. It was a foreclosure. I think I was like 24 years old, to give some context. I've always been a hustler. So I picked up a gig from Craigslist to pick up signs. I don't know what it was at that time. I found out there's these big auction.com signs, the big yellow ones. You put
Yeah.
them in the ground, in the garage. So I picked up pallets of signs. I stored them I still lived at my parents' house at the time, and on my front porch, and people would just come and pick up the signs. And then at that time, I was also like within the couple of months and 2 years of doing 2, 3 years of doing this, I used to like put them, drive across Northern California, 100 homes a month, and just stick them into the ground or like put them in the garage stores. But then I got to meet a lot of realtors that were nice enough to like knock on the door. Hey, it's okay, grab these signs. And then I got connected with this really funny Nigerian guy. His name was Sunday Peters. He was selling banknotes and foreclosures. And then he hired me on the spot to work as an assistant for him next week. So then I did like BPOs and lock boxes and lockouts and just random stuff. And I was working 300, 400 jobs at the same time, including like I was working at Walmart to demo video games in the aisles, going around the city, looking at parking meters and for gathering data for an app, and worked at Facebook and Pixar and all these tech companies, just moving cables around and monitors. So I was literally working whatever I could during the recession, making pretty good money for myself at that age. So real estate wasn't like something I was passionate about, but I got into it and saw that was a gap. Are you telling me that I just need to get people to call me like it's a real estate? That was essentially, I was like, that doesn't seem too hard at that time for me.
Okay, so you saw an opportunity, right? Like you're literally just hustling to make ends meet, right? Like working 3 or 4 different jobs. You're an assistant for somebody. You decide like, oh, there's a gap and stuff here. What did your first couple of years in real estate look like? It's like, how did you get the ball rolling? And like, what did production and stuff look like the first couple of years?
I remember like I kind of tried to blank this sale out, but I sold like 60 homes to one person, and I sold one home for like 65 grand. I was like, this is stupid. And then I went to Asian Real Estate Association conference in August, September, and in Inman. I was like, okay, I kind of dig this now. So I consider my first like true year selling real estate the following March. I did about 24 sales. I did a lot of open houses. Zillow just came out that year. Trulia, Redfin, like Zillow and Trulia were completely separate companies. And then my broker at the time, Vinny McWin, he sold about 100 homes a year because he locked in the Fannie Mae account and Freddie Mac and all the asset stuff. So I was manually taking his listings and typing them one by one into Zillow, going on Craigslist and inputting all those listings into Craigslist so people would call me. I was the first agent in Northern California. I saw a copy from someone in San Diego. I was the first agent that I knew that had a website with IDX. That was revolutionary at that time. And then I had these little cheap VistaPrint, the ones they give you for free. This is this white card with blue text on it. And then I used to staple them to the back of the auction signs because they couldn't get a hold of the listing agent. So I was just doing everything I can to get calls, and I was pretty successful in just getting people to reach out to me. So I ended up doing about 24 sales my first year. I think I made like $80,000 because the homes were like 200 grand in my market. Next year I did 25 sales. The following year I did 52 sales, became the #1 sales agent in Oakland for units for buyer side, and I held that title for a good 10 years. And then started building website styles. Let's start using social media in my third year. You can even, if you go far enough, the 1,000 posts on Instagram, you can actually see the day I signed up for Instagram. And I didn't have, and I was alternating between Android phones and Apple phones. I was weird. Every year I switched between these two. And then I signed up for Instagram on Android, but it wasn't even out yet. So they gave me a, hey, you're on the wait list. So I kind of built my business doing that early on.
Guys, do you hear this? Right? Like, this is what we talk about. Literally, like, I mean, since we've started, find a problem and create the solution for your clients, right? Like, literally, there was no secret formula, right? He didn't have somebody hand over the kingdoms to this. Literally, he busted his ass by doing something different than everybody else every single day. So like, and it's
Digitally
great.
too, like I just remember like digitally too, I signed up for become a Redfin agent. So
Uh-huh.
I was working their leads. I won an award. It's actually still right there. In my first year, but as a Redfin partner agent, you could write comments on homes. To this day, you still could. So I used to write like funny, stupid stories about the properties and redirecting people back to my website. And then on Trulia, you could do blogging. There's another one that Ben Kinney bought. I just can't remember the name of it right now, but on Trulia, if you blogs, I post articles from other websites and source them, and I got points for that. So I ranked the highest on Trulia. There's an app, the HomeSnap. It's gone now. The homes.com bought them out. But before, you can walk around and take pictures of the homes, and if you show the property, you take a picture of it, you would rank high. So on all these websites, I was at the top of the list. And then so you go on Redfin, you go on Movoto, you go on Trulia, you go on Zillow. I'm the first agent you see for everything on, or had the most listing, had the most reviews. So kind of like digitally farm, or be as annoying as possible, just be visible as possible early on. And none of these were unique to me. I didn't have special access to this stuff, but everyone could do it. Just no one was doing all of it.
And so tell me, right? Like, so it was hustling, it was grinding, you were just capturing some market share. Obviously, you were one of the first to kind of capitalize on this online type opportunity, right? Like, you were first to market, which gave you some market share. When was Fast Agent created?
I believe it was my third year in real estate. I just bought a car that year, a BMW M5, the V10 gas guzzler. It was kind of stupid to drive that car because I would pump multiple times a week as a buyer's agent. But then I got a license plate on it. It said F5T AGNT. And then I started like, because then I just like the 5 and the Fast Agent. And I remember like a couple weeks later or a month later, I was driving to my friend eat sushi. And I was like, what if I start using hashtags and got people to call me this thing? And then I just started using this hashtag Fast Agent on all my marketing, and to not take myself too seriously. Again, as a buyer's agent, I was driving around hundreds of miles a week. I started using hashtag Fat Agent, and then I did a lot of food posts. So social media was just about what you were eating back then. So I would post nonstop on my wall, and it would be hashtag Fat Agent or Fast Agent, and people thought that was pretty funny. And then tie-in related, there was an app called Foursquare. You log in locations, and then you got to be the king of location if you logged in the most. So every time I go somewhere to eat, I'll log in. So most people, when they're playing this social media app, they would see my name on that thing, and it would say Fast Agent, and then didn't know what it quite was.
Beautiful. And so that started that side. And I'm gonna share your Instagram page here in a second, because literally, right, like, it's super, like, this was one of the things when I got on your mailing list, right? And it was like old school Mario Brother Nintendo, right? And it was just so like quirky and different from everybody else's goddamn marketing report, right? And if you can see here, right, like, everything is planned out on his Instagram that he's created around this Fast Agent type branding and stuff. When did you really start to get into like the branding, the marketing, the advertising side of things, other than just stapling, business, like free business cards to the back of signs and stuff like
I
that?
think it was the end of my third year in real estate. So a little background. So I had my first computer in 5th grade. I started building websites in like late middle school, going computer shows every single weekend. So I've really been passionate about computers and technology, like MySpace and like all this social media stuff. And when I did social media, I never had my face on anything. Like I didn't even have a picture of myself on Facebook for many, many years. It's kind of skewed up because of the 3-block thing.
Yeah, I know, it would be perfect if they all lined up. So there was one post that was that obviously missed the mark or something there, but you can
I
get
can
it
edit
right.
later. But then the end of my third year in in the business, that's the third year is actually when I started my team too. I started branding myself in marketing. I remember my first one was like a freaking bad. You know, the logos was BA and BD or something. So I
Yeah.
made the FAST. I remember after that, I did like a 24-hour fitness one. But I did the newsletters for a good 5 years. It took me personally my about 5-6 hours every single week to do a newsletter, and I didn't miss any single one until like 5 years in. Because then I went to Cabo for a bachelor party and had fun, and then I was like, I cannot keep this up to do this, and it went to 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, doing consistently, I just went to once a month, and I just ended up dropping it, and glad I did. But the goal of that was to tie in a different theme every week, pop culture. So you see that as like Twitter or Ant-Man or
Yeah.
Skittle or something. So you have something relatable to someone. And then the email, the newsletter, you can't even find record of the newsletter because it's on my old website, but they're completely tricked out with different colors and different themes. So people are looking forward to seeing that every single
Yeah,
week. And
literally, I would be waiting for the next one to come out, like in what you created, because the amount of time and effort and energy that had to go into that was crazy.
yeah,
And if you guys are ever like, do you still have your fast agent bus stops and stuff like that?
yeah,
Around
we had
Oakland?
the bus stops. I think it was like my 4th year in business. I picked up 10 bench ads, and no one's really marketing the kind of like the crown jewel of Oakland, California is Lake Merritt. It's beautiful there. And then all these, because the market was in a recession and people were not spending money on advertisement, there was opportunity to pick up these bench ads. And I ended up just putting the word hashtag fast agent on all of them, which got people offline to go online and then discover my the content. And at one point, for like 2 years, I had like 99 bench ads in Oakland. Now it's down like I think 40 we still have.
And guys, like it's the fun. If you follow Kenny on social media, people hate him so much. Like in Oakland, like I think it's other real estate agents, but they graffiti that, like they graffiti, and he just posts it, right? He basically takes that negative energy and turns it into a positive. And it's like, oh, I'm cleaning up another bunch of another agent wanted to show me love. Like it is the most hilarious thing. And so, if you guys are not following him, guys, you should be. He will spark some interest. He will give you guys ideas and stuff here. So beautiful. So now up to today, right? So you were successful at 25 deals and then 50 deals. What does your team look like today, Kenny?
So the 4th year in business, I did 49 transactions. And the 5th year, I decided to leave my entire team behind. I think I didn't, because then it wasn't working out. They weren't as hustling as hard. I changed brokerages to an independent in San Francisco, fresh start. And then I was there for a good 5 years. And then I ended up building another team there, even unintentionally, because people kept reaching out. But it was more like a loose mentorship program.
Yeah.
And then I won Inman Most Innovative Agent of the Year my first year there. And my company, it was called Real Estate, also won Most Innovative Agent, Most Innovative Company of the Year. So it was a good alignment. And when that happened, they told me about the secret team they were running, an E team. So essentially they were buying Zillow leads, and then they had someone manage it. Took over that for them. And then I was at that company for 5 years. And my 10th year in business, which was January 2020, I moved over to EXP with a team of 10. And then since then, we brought on over 600 team members from 2020 to right now. Currently on our roster today, we have about 205 team members. But we quickly went from $56 million in sales to $127 million our first year at EXP. And the following year, we hit $560 million, I believe, and we became the #1 sales team at EXP for sales volume. And then the year after that, we did $760 million and $580. So the previous 2 years right now, we've been ranked the #2 sales team at EXP. Right now, today, we're year to date, we're #2 too. So all the social media stuff has just kind of compounded because most of our recruiting has come from social media. And then if you guys want to check out, I'll drop the link to my team page. Really focused on fast real estate as our team brand, because originally my brand was fast, as you can see, hashtag fast agent. And then my 9th year in business, I created this thing called hashtag team fast. Literally the same logo, it just changed the words around. And then, but when we came to EXP the following year, so after just 1 year of hashtag team fast, COVID came. That was the year COVID started. So it was like toilet paper and Tiger King and kind of crazy stuff. What got me recruiting at a high level was I did about 70 webinars, like just like this. I was featured on a lot of 2 of them. I was like, wait, I can do this. So started hosting value add training when people were stuck at home, and started inviting people in my market to these calls and then tagging everyone and live streaming it. So they got me going. We ended up having 20 agents in June and 110 team members by January. So 10 to 100 in a year. And it's been growing that consistently. And our focus now as a team. So we're more like a white label.
So time out real quick, because I just want to highlight something, right? Like he basically reached out to other agents that were missing something, added massive value, right? Didn't have any ask, just invited, added value. And some of the, like, I mean, I see the Russell Realty Group on here, right? I see Ashley Kimball, like some of you guys that are having very similar success, adding massive value to people. Guys, their success leaves clues, right? Like wash, rinse, repeat. The more valuable you are to other people, the more valuable you will become to them as well, right? So pour into them, and then that will create some opportunities, whether it's clients, whether it's vendors, whether it's agents or anything else. But that's, man, beautiful journey. And I see that Kenny put his Instagram account.
I think you're just assuming the role. Like you're working with a client, you're meeting with them. You can, depending on how aggressive you want to get, like, hey, I can totally get the contractors out of here next week. My painter, my stager can come on Monday. Even though you don't have a signed listing agreement, you want to assume the role. So they kind of submit that. So during the time, during early COVID, when we're not supposed to be working, you're not supposed to go to the office, you know, health and safety reasons, obviously. But we just continue to provide value. It was like how to hold a virtual open house, how to do showings a certain way, how to get your PED form signed at scale. So like, all the time, like we're training our agents as like we're the non-sales managers, sales managers. So when they finally are fed up not getting the support they need from whether it's their brokerage or their manager or their team leader, then I'm usually the first call they make because I've been just pouring into the community. And then a lot of the masterminds I was holding is like examples like, okay, top 1% agents in Alameda County, top 1% agents in Contra Costa County, top team leaders chat. You realize there's like 20 people on the call. So I'm only moderating like Larry is. So I could be speaking for 5 minutes on an hour and a half call and hosting it. And then everyone gets recognition on the call. Everyone gets benefit. And then we're adding value to the community. But then I get my face to get some credit for that. So that helped a lot. And then we do that to this day. We use Slack at a very high level. It's like workplace for Facebook. We're on ESP, so you get similar to that. We have like 400 people on Slack every month, very active. With showing request channel, open house channel, training updates. So we like to invite other agents into our channel. They get a preview of it. When new agents are unlicensed right now, are interested in that, I invite them to our Slack channel. We even have a channel called Aspiring Agents. I've downloaded. You could do this in your market too. I prep agent. There's like Facebook groups for like agents, California realtors studying for the test. And then I download all the assets. I don't know where the assets are from. I just download all the stuff they provide and then upload them into my Slack channel. So for a new agent, hey, if you're looking to get licensed, I have a channel full of study materials where you like to look. And they come in and see how we run our entire company. So it's a nice little funnel. Like 2 years ago, we brought on 260 team members. Last year, we had 140 team members. And then this year, I think we brought on about 50 so far. So we've kind of created a funnel for all the stuff using marketing and social media.
Man, kudos to you and all of the success. And so I have some of the top producers in the country on this call, right? I have other people that are new in the business on this call, others that are somewhere in the middle, right? Like just figuring out, like, you know, a lot of folks are trying to grow their team. They want to start a team and stuff like that. Like if we could talk, like, let's just give them some actionable items, maybe like the top 3 things, right? If somebody's looking to grow, right? Like what is the number one thing that you would recommend to people that are looking to grow their business, their group, their team?
I mean, growing a team is not for everyone, and it's gotten extremely harder. And the more I've seen some information this week about from different people, and they're calling Ryan Serhant and make teams are kind of the future. Like seeing a team of 200-300 is not out of the ordinary, but I don't want to tell you to grow 200-300 agent team. Just saying that, like, when you're growing a team, you're really figure out who you are, your avatar, and who you like to, like, what your value is. If you're doing a good amount of business, but you don't have a lot of extra business, and it might not be smart to bring on a team because you're going to be spending a lot of time training someone. If you're making $100 an hour and then you want to help an agent make, I don't know, $50 an hour, $100,000 a year, you're making $200,000 a year. It might not make sense for you to take away from your $100 an hour production and help someone make $50 bucks. So you're going to get $25 from that. So you might be working in reverse. So a great way to see if you even like team building is get certified, become a certified mentor with EXP, and they will assign you literally, like, not speaking bad, they just assign you random people. You have no clue whether they're going to be good or not. So I met some really interesting people on the way. I've had like 4 or 5 people graduate, but being a mentor is a great way to just test it. Like if someone wants to join you, can you handle that? And like, because I don't think anyone should be a team leader, or I don't think anyone should hire on a buyer's agent unless they've even ever had an assistant. Because then you're probably can distinguish between like what assistant work is and an agent's work is. So those kind of steps, bring an assistant and then maybe evolve them into an agent, or and then work with random agents to see if you can even like that process. If you don't, it might even make sense to reverse, look upwards and see if you want to join a team, because teams are kind of like mini brokerages now.
Yeah.
It's like we have very successful agents on our team where you think about like a really successful team might have like a strong admin. It has a strong lead gen program. At a certain point, you need like a sales manager. You need someone coaching the agents, holding them accountable. Our team has 4 video editors. Yeah, you can totally go do that, but then what would it cost to do all these little things, right? But if you join a team and give you a favorable split and they handle training, what you could do is focus on lead gen and bring on agents and not handle the and then have admins to support you. So I would just look at what it means to be a team. I was just listening to I was just on a webinar yesterday. Actually, I paid $10 to watch this webinar. The number one agent since 2010 in a certain market, she does $300 million a year with a team of 5. So it was cool. They just wrote a new book. It was Steve Show. I'm blanking out his name because I never heard of him before. He runs a Sally Foster Group, CEO, president in Beverly Hills, and then Dana Green. They just wrote a new book together. But they're saying don't try to start a team if your focus is just making more money. You should think about starting a team if you really want to grow other people in your business. So like my intention is to grow. My intention is to grow my team members to be more successful than me, because you heard my grind of how I did everything. I mean, that was a lot of work. And I didn't even talk about the hundreds I used to strap a GoPro to my chest. I walk around and record all these foreclosure homes. There's literally like 300 videos on YouTube right now. They're like, it'll make you dizzy. But I used to cut the movies myself on iMovie and 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's just this old bad stuff. So I did everything by myself. Like, so now the team has training. We provide leads towards a flex program. We have a coach 3 times a week. We do these kind of calls, coaching in the morning. We have full-time video editors. We have a marketing thing. We have 7 offices. We're trying to build a foundation where an agent come in and be very successful. So we actually have had example 2 years ago. It's like the top 10 rookie of the year. California, we call them rising stars. They're featured in the magazine. 3 of California's top 10 rising stars were on my team. Beautiful. And 2 of them did 20+ deals the first year. So my goal is to constantly build an environment where agents can has all the tools they need to be successful. So
if I'm hearing you correct, first part is, right, like everybody has this idea they want to be a team leader. Like, figure out if that's true, right? Like, because it's not always more money, right? Like sometimes it deters, it takes away from your time of what you're already productive with. Now, this is where you can start like testing that by being a mentor to other people. Maybe like have a group of referral agents if you're too busy, right? Like we do a lot of that here in the Houston market where we'll test you, right? Like, well, look, like take this one. Let's see how you do. Are you coachable? Are you trainable? Are you responsive? Are you communicative, right? Figure out if even that's a good fit. And I would agree with Kenny, right? Like if you don't have your admin and your team in place to where you're just doing the most dollar productive activity, like if you bring on a group of agents underneath you, they're going to be just as unproductive as you. And then you're going to be frustrated at the same time because they're spending time doing stuff that they probably shouldn't be. So you need to have your ecosystem in place, and then it can grow, right? Like once you have the systems in place, now it starts to become scalable at that point in time. And now you can start talking about 7 offices and, 200+ team members and hundreds of millions and stuff in production, but it's a process, right? Kenny didn't get here overnight. Yeah. Like it was a process that he had to learn a hell of a lot of lessons. And that's why we have him on here. to figure like so you guys can skip some of those lessons at the same time.
You gotta remember, like I also said, I gave up. I had a team of 3 doing, I don't know, 20 million sales, doing pretty well. But I gave that. I was like, this is stupid. The agents are not as motivated. And I thought like everyone young was motivated. We have the energy. We don't have excuses. But I realized I'm a weird person, and the results have shown. Then I joined my second company at Climb. I did the mentorship thing, but as they got the leads, I remember like had 26 people on our Zillow team, and saw a couple of people crying, like literally crying. And no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I was like, this is not something I signed up for. So it's not like I don't think I want to run a team. So I gave up that team again. my my 5th year in business at my new company. So even though I didn't have my team, my 5th year at that brokerage, I still did 88 transactions. So what I was doing too, I was partnering with different agents. I probably partner up with more team members partner with more agents in the office than any other agent in the company. I work with like, I don't know, a dozen different people. But then a deal in this city or this area, and I didn't know it, I'd bring someone on. So I shared a cost, 6-figure salary on assistant with 200 people in my office, but then they rotated it out and then they left the company. I was like, I can't afford this person by myself. So then I was forced to start a team. So it was by necessity, I started a team. And then my 3rd team was successful because that was a team I took charge. Like, okay, I actually had to make the rules. I ran it this way. Is because a lot of teams market as a team, but they're really just a group. A group is, and then some people call themselves a group, but like there's teams where it's just a couple of different producers. They combine their marketing faces, but they actually all run independently and they share a brand, which is, I don't know, it's a version of a team. But I decided if I'm going to do a team this time, I need to have like full control of how it runs and have requirements and all that. So now it's evolved into what we have today. Now we have a very extreme version of that, where we, if you're on a team for 6 months and you don't sell something, we will ask you to either go solo or enroll in the program. So when we first did that last June or July, we actually lost like 96 agents on our team. It's in 2 months, which is pretty wild. We were at 374 at our peak. So a lot of information, but not, like now our team is, we have with the 200, we still did 850 transactions last year, which is really good. Our average number of sales is 4, and this is the worst market possible last year. So we're really big on production. And then like when you start a team too, everyone will tell you hit a J curve. So your business will suffer until you make it back. You realize you're not going to find agents half as good as you if they're new. So you technically would need to hire like 4 agents. If they're paying you like 25% split, you need to hire 4 agents to make up your own income. But then if they're half as good as you need to hire 8 agents to make up your income. And then 8 to 10 agents, you probably need a sales manager or admin support them. So you're better off not having a team and being a lot more profitable with no team members. So you got to figure out what that looks like. So where was I going at? So sorry, I will recommend, if you don't want to hire an admin and commit to all that, maybe find an agent in the office to partner up on some deals. You're not 100%. It's like dating, like people, but when you bring on a team, you're tying yourself to someone's income, and they depend on you. That's too much commitment for me, I think. But if you can just work with different agents in your office, make sure it's mutual, have all that written out, what happens to the leads. Hey, I'll bring you on this deal, you bring me on this deal. What I found early on, when you do that, then you have double the just listed social media posts, you have double the postcards, you have double the open house opportunities, you have double the sales, you have double the reviews. If it's 50-50, but now and then you look more busier. So your clients are reaching out, hey, I saw you had that deal and that deal. So if you can do 50-50 on a bunch of stuff with someone and there's reciprocation, that's probably an even better way to do more business. And then I remember when I was doing the deals at my second brokerage, the top 5-6 people I work with, I probably counted for like 25% of business tops. But I was able to work with different agents on their skill set. I paid a certain person more if they're a closer. I paid a person way less as a referral partner if I knew I had the deal, pretty much done. So you gotta like figure out stuff, and it was easier for me to figure out because I had a deal flow. If you don't, you just gotta give it a little more thought what your business looks like.
Yeah. And first up is like, you guys have to make sure that you're taken care of, right? Like you guys have to make sure that your business is in a place and that you can actually scale it and add value to other people. So I see Jeff on here, like great advice and stuff like that. guys, I want to kind of open it up to you guys, right? Like Kenny is one of the top producers in the country. He's been there where you're at. He's built some mega teams, as you would call it. He's captured market share. What kind of questions do you guys have? Right? Because this guy is creative and you might not take it, right? But this should spark some ideas. You guys are going to be different from Kenny. Like, there's not another Kenny. There's not another Larry. There's not another Ashley or a Jeff or a Kelly, right? Like, we are all unique. You have to find your zone, that your niche that you are going to run with. Does anybody have any questions for
Joseph?
Kenny?
Hey, Kenny, good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank you, man. I've had the pleasure of meeting you several times. You are like the epitome of EXP Realty. It's about one team, one dream. So I really appreciate you coming on here and like pouring into us, man. I really, really honor that. My question to you was this: you seem to be a visionary. You can see things happening like in real time and where things are going. If you were to start over today, instead of the stapling to the back of REO sign, or instead of like doing video of a bunch of properties, like what are you seeing right now that people could do to maybe find that niche for themselves to get attention online?
So like all the stuff I did was unique, and I think agents have the advantage now of not having to do all this like different type of grind. You're not building websites and all that stuff. It's honestly it's just social media. That's the fastest way to touch and see the most people within your database or not. And email marketing is very underutilized. I'm still on a couple of different email feeds, and I love reading certain people's email threads because it's well designed and it gets really personal. Like, hey, this is what's going on in my life as a person, not a realtor. And they'll show pictures of their babies, their outings, stuff like that. I was like, so I feel connected to that person, write those emails. There's probably like 3 or 4 people in my market I think does that. And social media, I mean, that's you got to think like social media is you can meet person once in real life, a friend of a friend, right? If they follow you, is that social media or is that offline? Like it's all one thing now. So you gotta like be able to connect with the person, and then talking heads are fading out. The hey, here's 5 tips. That's kind of fading out. I've heard from many people. If you watch Mr. Beast, I don't watch YouTube, by the way. I just only look at the highlights and stuff. But all the top influencers are slowing down their content. They're talking to the camera for a couple of minutes at a time. It's less of the pizzazz and the wows and the cut screens and the just annoying YouTube video game, the stuff kids. So my girlfriend has a 7-year-old, so when I'm in the house sometime, it's really annoying because they're watching Roblox videos all day. So she actually got rid of YouTube and the YouTube Kids now. It's a lot easier to digest. So people really want to like get to know you as a person. So you don't need like crazy editors, all that. They want to be able to connect with you and realize you also do real estate. So if you're a father first, if you're in your community, if you like running, you like cars, you like whatever it is, people want to like get to know you as a person. So I feel like I've stuck to that. I keep trying all these other stuff, but my bread and butter is IG stories. And a given day, I'm probably like 30, 40 stories. Like conference day might be 100. And I also go to like 20 conferences a year. That's how I built my business, through networking. Most of my business comes from other agents. Like I'm really bad with my past clients. And I haven't really done work directly with clients in 6-7 years, like closely. So yeah, so I would say social media. And then what I've seen like many agents do really well is client appreciation parties. So that's why we have the 7 offices. We don't charge them. Do a biannual office party. I mean, you think about what it really costs. If you didn't have to pay for a venue could be a little more expensive, like a brewery. Or I've learned from someone else, get a restaurant that's on a slower day, coffee shop, something simple. Just get people together. And some tips there are, if you want a free drink ticket, you have to write us a review. So find ways to just get in front of people. I always try to get in front of people at scale. So because I know that you're trying to build a big business, but there's ways you can do one-on-one stuff. I just haven't built my business that way.
Appreciate that,
Answer
man.
your question, Joseph?
Yeah.
Big time.
Beautiful.
I've been
And
all over
we
the
talk
place.
about this, right? Like
This stuff I talk to my
everybody-
team all the time.
And we talk about this, like when I coach and train an agent to build their database, if they don't have a social media marketing plan to go along with it, right? So you have this database that's staying in touch, that's creating content and stuff, and it should be tweaked towards you. But then if you're not connected with your clients on social media, and I like, man, ever since there was a personal page and a business page, I've been arguing with agents. They're like, well, I don't want them to know what's going on in my personal life. And I'm like, why are you doing business with them? Because people do business with others that they know, like, and trust. Like, this has been around for 80 years now. That has been the premise, because people want to identify, oh, like, I ate at that restaurant. Oh, I went to that college, right? They build rapport, and they're like, man, Ashley is like me. Kristen is like me because of this. They may not know you, but they start to create this, and that's what starts to separate you. So everybody that's in your database that you're following up with, that's a free source to kind of
Oh,
stay.
send video. I had a really good example. So one of my business partners, I mean, it's not even related to real estate, which what I even like more, but after deployments and video email, it connects to the person a lot more. One of my business partners, his wife, I think is pretty close to landing a 6-figure job with the government on some non-disclosed nuclear, like literally nuclear radiation and like more admin stuff for a company. But he suggested that after that interview, he sent a video email. It's like, okay, that's a government job. Why would they want to get a video email, right? That's more of social media. They reply, hey, we loved your video. And now there's like 2 more people she compete against. So people want to connect with a person. They want to hear your face, your voice, your smile, all that. So the more you can make people feel, the easier it is to get clients. And then the cool part, it doesn't matter what your age group is, all that. But with buyers, you realize the average age of buyers like 30, young, early 30s. So they're online. But Facebook is still. I haven't used Facebook in many years, but the demographic on Facebook is older, which is great. That means most of them there's more sellers on Facebook than there are buyers, so you want to connect with them. So whatever your background, age, location, it doesn't matter. You just got to get people to see you. And then now if you follow, I think it starts with M. I'm blanking out. The guy he literally is like the president of Instagram. I want to say his name Mohsen or something, Mosseri. And people are always like, oh, I'm not getting enough views on my thing, but it doesn't matter. Like where we're moving into in the social media space, again, with slowing down, building connections, you want to create videos that don't even get a lot of views, because you want videos that are more catered towards the person watching that. They might not watch all the stuff. You want more engagement on that and possibly more likes, but less views. So they've been even releasing a lot of content on that, like, because people are like, oh, the algorithm sucks, all that. Like, yeah, what's the point of having thousand views if they don't even talk to you, right? That's why I like my stories, because I get on average like 50 DMs a day. On a good day, I'll talk to 100 different people. You can't. I mean, that's like, it doesn't matter if it's online, offline. I'm talking, having a conversation with someone, and they don't like all my stories, but the ones they do like, I'm able to connect with them there. So get that dial whenever you might be talking about, whatever you're doing this week. I would even, if you're doing anything interesting this weekend, maybe start with that. I am taking my kids to the fair, or hey, Vegas is having, I'm making this up, a garlic festival, because they moved a garlic festival. Garlic festival again. I can't wait to check it out. Someone's like, oh my God, I love garlic. Like, and all of a sudden you have a conversation there. I'll give you guys should all follow What's the Mortgage. Actually, 2 guys you should follow What's the Mortgage. Min Yuan and Neil Home. They're funny that they're both in the lending space, but they're also real estate coaches. I remember Min gave me a funny story. A couple of funny stories. He's actually been talking about vasectomy on this page, and this gotten him a lot of engagement. But he also started featuring his more personal stuff, like talking about kids buying Pokemon cards at and he does like $30-40 million in loans a month, by the way. And he's the lead generator for the whole company. But he's talking about like bringing his kids, his one son to buy Pokemon cards, and then because he's been just FHA, here's the rates, all that. People are connecting less with that, but now all of a sudden, people he's been talking to for years now in his DMs, and they're like, oh, your kids, you should buy Pokemon here. You should look at this. And all of a sudden, like a month later, like, hey, I need to get an app. Like I want to look at financing, because they're building the connection as something to relate to, and you're not just the realtor. There's literally 1.6 million realtors. Like, how do you stand out in the CSA in this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. Great questions. Great content advice, man. There's a lot of engagement and stuff here, guys. Anybody else have questions for Kenny? I mean, this guy, like, again, he's doing something different, right? And he's created.
Or like some challenges you guys are facing outside of, leads in your business.
Good question. I'm at Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky. Such a great content grab. Yeah, use it, right? Anybody running into challenges? Like Kenny, how would you handle this?
What's the
I'll
challenge?
go again if no one else
Sure.
wants to go, man. I'm going to keep going.
Let's do it.
So, Kenny, I'm just going to throw this at you and see if you have any ideas around it. I think it's really key for us to try and leverage the talents that we have, right? And I know that for me personally, I have an ability to speak on a stage. I'm capable at public speaking. With that skill set, what would you think are some of the most opportune ways to get in front of captive audiences without having to create your own every time? And I say that because the amount of effort spent for consistency can become a little cumbersome. If you were to think about some captive audiences that you could show up and be in front of, like where might you find them, or what ideas do you have to see where they might be?
Are you talking about like agents or talking about potential future
Consumers.
clients?
Yeah.
Consumers?
I'll say any of the above. Go for it.
An agent on my team recently did like a home buyer seminar in the morning when mimosas, like, that always gets people out there. Harder to do, but you can do like seller workshops. It's just hard to get in front of a lot of people at the same time. Private invite only open houses on the weekends. Like two of my top 3 producers for the year, for last year, are outdoor knocking this week. They're inviting. We found that to be hugely successful. Many of my team members door knock, but they're not like trying to have a long conversation with the neighbors. They just like drop off, hey, my Twilight tour is this Saturday or this weekend. And another agent on my team, Jen Oak, she's been our number 1 agent for 3 years now. She knocked 250 doors this week. She dropped off both a seller guide, like a cute little presentation seller guide that's binded, and she printed out 250 CMAs from RPR. They're fully custom, and it has a picture of their house in front of it. So every CMA is different, which is pretty cool. And she dropped them off, and I supported her. I went to her Twilight tour last Thursday or Friday evening, and I don't know, maybe 20, 30 groups came by, and at least like 7-8 people say, oh yeah, I just got your packet. Thank you for that. So a lot of things can be done at scale that feels personalized. Hope that helped a little bit. I wasn't sure, like, and then like I originally, when you asked me that question, I thought you're asking about how to get on stages. If you want to speak in front of more people and then being on stage gives you a lot of clout. Like I learned that from one of my mentors, Dan Bear. So me recruiting agents sets me up as a leader in my market. So people want to hire a professional. I would want to hire a professional training the professionals. So like I would try to grab more speaking opportunities in your market. That could be by checking with the multiple local MLSs to see if they have opportunity, because they're also looking for just good speakers. And then going to more networking events so you're seen. I remember talking to someone last year, and like, I want to go and speak on stage. Like, dude, it was a girl. I was like, but dude, I've never seen you at any of these conferences. Why would they all of a sudden just ask you to speak? You got to build connections in that space. So like, I'll give you an example. Next week, I'm going to Washington, D.C. I'm part of Asian Real Estate Association. I'm actually the first national social media task force chair. It's our first time we're doing this. And then I'm going to Dallas for a 1000-watt conference. You guys, 1000-watt is one of my favorite newsletters to read, 1000-watt. I'm going to Chet Black Mastermind in Dallas. I'm going to Neil Home because I was part of his organization in Vegas. And I'm going to another thing in Vegas. I forgot what the exact event was, but I have like 5 events coming up.
Okay. I'm glad you came back. All right.
Mike.
So,
Mike.
I'm not sure whether it's easier to get it through the front
Where's Larry?
or through the back.
Yeah, I'm trying. I got kicked off of my internet. I'm trying to mute him from my phone here. There we go. All right, we should be good.
Yeah, but networking is key. I try to like tonight I'm going to like yesterday I went to San Francisco for a networking event. I opted out on my team's karaoke event. It came later. And then tonight I'm going to San Francisco again. I don't really work San Francisco too often, to go to the Chinese Real Estate Association of Realtors top producer panel, because I'm also a recruiter. So I usually will drive an hour out to other markets to just get my face out there. And then last year when times has been tougher, I made an extra effort to just be out there. So I don't know how that, like what events are in your market. county fairs, just get together. Any opportunity you can to go to someone's party, whether you party or like so I don't drink that much. I drink like twice a week tops, but like go out to party, event, baby shower, birthday, whatever those things. Like I want to spend time with my kids, but it's treated like a business too. Like you gotta go out and network at a very high level. You want business, so like if you're not on social media, and then you're not out meeting people, and you're not doing open houses, I don't know what people are doing in this market to go hunt for business. You gotta like have a hunter mentality in this, and that's why I think we wouldn't still be able to be successful. To give you an example, last year I sold 6 homes. Year before I sold 14. Before that, 660. I'm like, okay, I need to bring in more deals to my team. I need to be seen more. And like I went to this event in LA. I know I've run into this person a couple times before. First time I met his sister though. I went to this LA event called Asian Academy. It was in Hollywood. I met this person for like 10 minutes. And then within 3 weeks later, I got $2.5 million referral. I was like, from that person I just met. And that was like that. We signed a pretty high commission too. But that pays off all my trips for the year, that one deal. So like, just really spend your time to see where you can get your face in front of the most people. If you're limited time, you gotta go to bigger events. If you have more time, then go to more intimate events.
Love it.
That's why I just dropped my Zoom link in here. If you guys want to book me for half an hour to just chat, I do it all the time for ESP agents or whatever you want to do, pick my brain. Because I know that if I talk to you and I may be able to help you in your business, the next time someone in your office has a referral, you might think of me. So say like you just gotta like just get out there and bring value wherever you can.
Where's the link, Kenny? Great stuff, by the way.
It's called Kenny Fast. I just dropped it. Yeah, because I hop on calls all the time with agents of all experience.
And
yeah, just
Kenny,
got a big referral from a Canadian agent because John Sai is part of ESP. So someone from Canada had a referral in San Jose here. You just never know where that might be.
Yeah, and those add up fast. Kenny, let's make sure that we connect. I'll be out there for policy with Aria and stuff as well. So
cool.
Maybe we grab some dinner or something like that while we're out there together. And guys, I do have another call coming up at the top of the hour, but man, this was absolutely fire. I hope that you guys got as much from this and nuggets. But here's the thing, guys, go out there and use it, right? Like if you just heard this and was like, oh my gosh, that guy's so cool, and you don't do anything with it, nothing will change in your business. So go out there, figure out 1 or 2 nuggets from this call that you can implement and change into. And then you can build upon that and stuff as well. So Kenny, man, great friend. I love what you're doing. Always have. I'm the biggest fan and supporter of what you got going on. So love you. Thank you for being here, guys. Everybody else, thank you guys for showing up. And if you guys need anything, call, text, or email me. Kick ass this week. And we'll be on here. I have Tony King on next Friday talking about changes and stuff that are rolling out, tools and resources that most people are unaware of. And you heard a lot of people talk about conferences, right? We have the Tony Robbins event in November. Like people are starting to sign up, put down deposits, get their reservations. It will be, I think, the 2nd or 3rd week of November off the top of my head. I would love for as many of you guys to be there as possible because it will change your life, especially with the group and stuff that we're bringing together. The 14th through the 17th. There you go. Thanks, Eric. I know Eric Bengal just signed up and stuff there as well. So I love you guys. Thank you guys. Have a kick-ass weekend, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.